All right, we're back again with KTOWN Tonight. This time I'm here on time. And
KTOWN Tonight?
KTOWN I'm sorry.
Isn't that like the previous show that you hosted 10 years ago?
Yeah, that's the radio show that I did. Kilograms hosts it now. We're back with KTOWN Social Club with Michael Wan and Douglas Kim and Rocco 1540. And we took a quick break from our previous episode, and we're here to talk more with Doug and learn a bit more about the Korean American experience. Like, what is life
the experience
like for us? I mean, I know you grew up in New York.
In New York.
Right. Do you like that song, the Jay-Z song?
Obviously. I did when it came out, but obviously it got a little annoying. It got a little
it's overplayed, right?
Yeah, overplayed.
Yeah, when I started seeing it pop up on Instagram, I was like, fuck this song.
Yeah, I didn't like it from the get-go, to be honest.
I'm like, what's so great about New York?
Concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
There's nothing you can't do, but then people really can't live the life they want.
No.
Yeah, since you made it here, I can make it anywhere. Yeah, they love me everywhere.
It's for the deep state.
All right, he knows. This guy's singing deep state stuff here.
I'm a deep stater.
Yeah, so I mean, you grew up in New York, and you didn't grow up in like Manhattan or Queens. You grew up in Hartsdale.
Hartsdale, New
That
York.
Sounds like a very white area.
Was it?
It's a very WASP / Jewish area.
White Anglo-Saxon Protestants and Jewish people.
Yes.
Since you talked about WASP, I know that we should talk about light issues, but did you see that interview that Ann Coulter did with Vivek Ramaswamy?
I heard what.
Yeah, she wouldn't vote for an Indian, but what was her reasoning?
Because she
said she would vote for a WASP. That's what she said. She said she would vote.
She just openly and then what did Vivek do? Was he like, yes, ma'am, or
she should have said something like, I don't want to vote for horses. So
it kind of made me lose a lot of respect about Vivek. I think Vivek should have said, hey, you're a
racist. Vivek didn't say anything.
That's what I think.
The short clip I saw, which got cut off right after she said it, like he didn't really respond. He just
yeah. And he was just thankful that she showed up for the interview. But anyway, I think Ann Coulter was a known racist. I think a lot of people knew about that.
I used to think she was hot like 25 years ago.
To be honest, I think when she came out on Real Time, Politically Incorrect, so she blew up because of Bill Maher. Bill Maher brought in a lot of chicks, blonde chicks. Kellyanne Conway, who worked under Trump, she also debuted on TV because of Bill Maher. Because it seems, I don't know whether Bill Maher banged them or not. I don't know about that, but
well, Bill Maher is known for banging whores.
Yeah.
Wait, why are we? We shouldn't say this. Yeah.
There were rumors that he dated Ann Coulter, but Ann Coulter is
Do you see?
She's kind of opening up to be a racist. Oh, she was hiding it.
She's
before.
like
she wasn't
the dumb
hiding
version
it.
of Ayn Rand.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what she is.
Ayn Rand was okay. Yeah, she's dumber than Ayn Rand. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But apparently, I think Ted Cruz and Trump likes the book she wrote.
Which book?
What's the one
Didn't
that
she write multiple?
Yeah. What was the one that?
What, Trump is amazing?
No. I mean, what was the bestseller?
Damn. She's
No.
62?
I'm not talking about Ann Coulter. I'm talking about.
In Trump we trust. Adios, America.
I wonder why he.
I'm not talking. No, I'm not talking about her book. I'm talking about who? What was her name again?
Ayn Rand.
Ayn Rand.
Oh,
yeah.
Atlas Shrugged.
Who likes her book?
Cruz and Donald Trump.
It's a very libertarian.
They would always praise that book. Larry Elder also praises that book. I don't know. A lot of libertarian, a lot of conservatives seems to really love.
Yeah,
that
but
book.
then these same guys will then support like.
I know it doesn't. It kind of doesn't make sense too. But anyway, Ann Coulter, she's an anti-Trumper. She's a never-Trumper, and she said she would vote whoever is against Trump. And I mean,
is
because
she even relevant anymore? I feel like no one really pays attention to her like in the past.
Nobody did. Exactly. The past 5-6 years, she was laying low.
Yeah.
You're right. And
okay, so how many Koreans were in your neighborhood growing up in Hartsdale?
Actually, there are a fair amount, like compared to the amount of people total. It was pretty, I guess, school-wise. So I went to school in the Ardsley School District.
Ardsley School District.
So it's like neighboring towns were Hartsdale, Dobbs Ferry, Ardsley, whatever. So it wasn't like, they weren't like these hard lines. They were like these suburbs that were just next to each other. And a lot of people from my area of Hartsdale went to Ardsley. The other school, there was a Woodlands school for other Hartsdale people, but that was a different area of Hartsdale. We were kind of like in the apportioned section for Ardsley School District. But in any case, my class was maybe 130 people in my grade. So it was pretty small. And then probably
3 Koreans.
around 5, 6.
Wow. During the 90s?
This was, I went to high school in 98 to 2002.
That's pretty low number, I think. Korean.
Like
only
5 or 6 out of 130. That's like 6%. That's not
Okay.
like.
So were you
And there's like other Japanese and Chinese.
Asians.
Did you all hang out, or were you guys all separated?
We all sat at the same table.
It
during
is. It
lunchtime.
becomes that way, right?
How many guys and girls? Like
It was pretty even split.
3 guys, 3
Maybe
girls.
maybe more. Yeah, maybe it was like more like 7.
Did you guys date each other or what?
There was like one Korean. It varied. Some here and there like hung out with different circles.
Do you think
or
it starts
whatever.
from high school, like the race? You tend to eat together with the same ethnic group. In colleges that happened. I think Caucasians eat with Caucasians, blacks eat with blacks.
Yeah,
Latinos eat with Latinos.
I
and
think
Asians eat
in
with
the
Asians.
early part, like freshman, sophomore year, it was mostly like Koreans would stick together. But I think like by junior year,
you kind of blend in.
we branched out because like sometimes people left for lunch, like with their cars or whatever. Or, like I think by junior year and senior year, people branch out too and make more friends. And, it's just kind of like just a natural progression.
So what was your, outside of school, what connection did you have with Koreans? Or was it mostly just at church?
Mostly church. I went to also several, I guess, Korean schools on Saturdays.
Several.
Yeah.
So
there was-
Saturdays to learn Korean.
yeah. When I was young, I went to one that my mom taught at in New York City.
She taught Korean.
How far was New York City from Hartsdale by car?
During Saturdays when there's no rush hour, it could take around half an hour to an hour.
It's like from here to what, like Cerritos? Okay.
So Hartsdale is north of New York City, or
Yeah. So Hartsdale, we're like, I guess, maybe 20 to 30 miles north of the city.
Okay. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Okay, so you saw Koreans at Korean school, church, at school. And did you ever go out and like go to hang out with them outside of like educational or religious places? Like just go to a club together or go to a lounge or a bar?
I never went to a club. In high school?
In high school.
Or even after high school, like
That's totally different. But when I was in high school, growing up in New York,
you're saying that you're a good student. I think.
yeah,
I think that's the.
I was like, I was
impression I
praise
get.
team leader at my church. I was
you
kind
were
of
the
like,
praise
praise
team leader?
meaning you were like 찬양 team.
Savior, we can move the mountains. My God is mighty to save.
Do you know that song, Our God
Yeah, of
is an
course.
Awesome God? Oh, you sang that too.
That was that was not like 90s.
What about
It was like-
Onward Christian Soldiers Marching
No,
On?
we were more like in the late 90s where it was kind of like, Chris Tomlin or
Chris Tomlin.
Shane
yeah.
and Shane.
I guess it was the 80s thing,
I
because
think-
my school we were talking about Christian soldier, we're going off to war.
No, we were more of the
Chris Tomlin seemed to really get super popular among church.
yeah.
church,
There's
members.
rumors that he's probably gay, but
Isn't he married? Doesn't he have kids?
yeah, but
Hey, who else is gay?
the beard, whatever.
The beard.
Well, you mean the beard, the goatee, or
Like the term beard is basically like for a gay man whenever they have a wife
Yeah.
that's that's their beard, right? That's to signify that they're a man, right? So that's a term in like gay parlance.
Oh, it's a
of
term?
like a like a stand-in.
Not
for-
necessarily
You've
the-
never heard that before? Beard?
I think you know more about this stuff than I do.
No,
So
like
n-
yeah.
so not necessarily people who have beard. You're
No,
saying.
it's like. So you know how a beard signifies that you're a dude in general?
Yeah,
Yeah,
usually it's
so-
men that have
Yeah.
beards.
So like for a gay man, right? Their beard is their spouse. That's a wife. This proves that they're a man or a straight man, not a gay. man.
Oh, so the beard.
It's just like a colloquial slang term.
So like if Tom Cruise was married to like Katie Holmes would be his beard.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I see.
Well, that's a complicated thing.
I mean, it's common American slang, but yeah.
Okay. But Chris I didn't know that Chris Tomlin
I mean,
had that
like,
rumor.
I
really had no clue.
Don't sue me.
He's like the
anyone.
biggest Christian artist.
I have
So
no proof for
you're
any of this.
accusing of the biggest Christian artist. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, so well, maybe he's like David Kim, who's running for Congress, said like when he was young, he would try to pray the gay away. Maybe that's what this guy's doing. He's trying to pray the gay away.
To us.
Okay.
I mean, I recently heard that there's one church and the lead pastor there, later was exposed to have a gay relationship with one of the church members. So I think it happens. Like Haggard, what's that guy's name? Haggard.
Aside from that, do you remember this guy?
The famous evangelist.
I Kissed Dating Goodbye. His name's like, oh God, I forgot what his name was, but like, he was this big writer in the Christian circles back in the late 90s, early 2000s. He wrote this book called I Kissed Dating Goodbye.
I Kissed Dating Goodbye, okay.
And said like it was this whole thing about like Christian courtship and how like dating life is too casual and like too like promiscuous and whatever. And it's just like kind of like a Christian type book. And then like, 10 years ago, he comes out and it says like, I don't believe in any of that.
Oh, okay.
Like he got divorced and like.
All right. So, okay. Apart from the gay stuff, what kind of Korean food? Were there Korean restaurants in Hartsdale, or did you have to go to New York?
There are now, but yeah, when I was growing up, if you wanted to go to a restaurant, you had to go to Flushing.
Flushing. A lot of Koreans live there, right?
How far is Flushing from Hartsdale? Like, I'm just trying to see how far you are from like Koreans.
That would be another so we lived here. If this is like
Hartsdale,
if there's a map, like Manhattan is over here, and Queens is over here, and we would be coming from up here. So it'd be kind of like same distance where we would go like 45 minutes into like. Flushing.
They're all islands, right? New York. Isn't it all islands? Queens.
Manhattan is an island.
Manhattan. That's what I
Staten Island.
Staten Island.
Queens
exactly.
Queens is.
Isn't Queens also an island too?
On Long Island.
Okay,
so
Long
Queens
Island.
and Brooklyn are on the same.
Long Island. Long Island. Can you do the New York thing? The talk like
New
a
York,
New York.
Forget about it. I don't know.
Come on.
Forget about
Forget about it. This is.
it.
You ever hear? What do you call an Italian person with no hands? Speech impediment.
Speech impediment.
Because.
Stupid.
Yeah, so
I'm walking here.
Hey, I'm walking here. So the stuff we see in movies, that's all true, right? Like New York is, because when I went there, it was like
Maybe
that
more
too.
in the 80s, 90s.
Not
I feel
anymore.
like
You think
now
their English is more standardized, or
it's just turned into like, I mean, especially Manhattan. Manhattan's just turned into like corporate, like just corporate deadness.
Yeah, so how New Yorkers are always so snobby about pizza.
Yeah,
like LA, your
rightfully
pizza sucks and all that.
Yes,
right?
that's true.
because New York pizzas are that much better?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you see, so Doug's a New Yorker and he's like saying, yeah, LA pizza sucks and all this. So when I went to New York,
You tried.
they're like, oh, you got to go to Lombardi's, which is in Manhattan. Then but I was staying in Newark, New Jersey
New York.
and then the guys working there were like real Italian dudes, like Italian American dudes.
So you can probably try.
And I was like, yeah, I need a cab. They're like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to Manhattan. Like, well, what are you going to Manhattan for? I go, I'm going to get pizza at Lombardi. He's like, I'm going to Manhattan for pizza. Manhattan don't have good pizza. They got Mexicans making them. And he's like, you got to go to Brooklyn or something. So even,
Brooklyn.
it's like, who the fuck makes the best pizza? Even New Yorkers or New Jersey?
I mean, a lot of people that I talk to seem to think that there's these really good places in New Haven.
New Haven?
Yeah, in
Connecticut?
How about your experience? Where did you taste the best pizza in New York? Was it Manhattan or was it
I would
Long
say my
Island or
favorite pizza
Queens?
now for the specific New York style is a place in Manhattan called Scars. It's in
Scars
Little
at Manhattan.
Italy.
So you went to
it's
the right.
pretty recent.
How about the one in L.A.?
Lombardi's is a little bit older. I
Lombardi's.
know what he's
the
talking
oldest pizzeria, apparently.
about,
Lombardi.
In the US.
I think it's okay. There's a place I went to. I think that's the famous one in Brooklyn.
Grimaldi's.
No, not that one. God, I forget his name now.
How about the one here in L.A. or West L.A. around UCLA? I heard that there's a pizza place
it
called
called?
New York Pizza.
King of New York?
See, I feel like you got your answer right there. Just, I feel like you already know the answer.
No, I want to taste it here because since people praise it, so much.
No, King of New York Pizza shut down.
What I like recently also is Prince Street Pizza. That came out more in the like 10, 15,
Pink
20
Street
years ago.
Pizza?
Prince Street.
Prince Street Pizza.
It's more of like a grandma style, like square pizza.
So when you order it, do you just order a slice or do you order the entire box? Like
Depends on what the occasion is, I guess.
Do you call it a pie? Is that what New Yorkers do? They call it a pie?
Because it looks like a pie,
yeah,
right?
I guess. I don't know. I just, you want to get some pizza?
When the moon hits you.
And dude,
I want to have some good pizza, I mean,
that's when I was deprived of pizza for the first time.
when you went to Duke.
Actually, it's funny because like my parents, apparently, when I was 2 years old, I guess I was obsessed with pizza or whatever, but I guess I was also somewhat precocious. And like there was this restaurant that just said pizza on it. And I was like, pizza. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, what the hell? Like, well, how does this kid know what pizza is? I don't know if I knew how to read per se, but I guess I identified the lettering of pizza to signify pizza. And so I like screamed pizza, like I want pizza.
Okay. So New York pizza, what should we order? Should we order like a cheese, just a regular cheese pizza, or pepperoni, or works combination?
It all depends on what you're into.
I usually like combination.
I like fucking pineapples.
That's terrible.
I just want to see a reaction.
Is that an LA thing?
No, I just wanted to see his reaction.
If you want to like, taste the pizza for itself, yeah, get the plain cheese pizza
Cheese
to
pizza.
like,
Okay, that's the real
as the
thing.
baseline to like figure out if you like this thing or not, and to like more taste the consistency.
You've heard what
cheese and
Italians
sauce and
like.
all
What
that
do
other stuff.
Italians in Italy think about?
Well, Italians in Italy have a whole different type of pizza.
Right.
I mean, I've been to Rome.
Oh, is it different? You have been to Rome,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
tastes different.
Yeah, it's like it's not even like the same kind of
So
thing.
it's real pizza there.
It's
They
more
don't
similar
slice
to like
it, right?
Margarita type pizza.
It
It's
was
not near-
it was invented there, right? Italy.
yeah.
Rome. Okay.
I don't know about Rome, but like it was, it's an Italian sort of product.
So how was
which
it
is
taste?
why New York pizza is better
Because they
than LA,
immigrated.
because most Italian people, they immigrated to Ellis Island. They didn't go to fucking California.
But somehow when they
Oh, please.
came to California.
Just
some of them have moved here too.
no, the same way.
It's
the
just
same
fucking
way-
bread
no,
and
the
tomato
same way-
sauce.
The same way LA has the best Korean food and the best Mexican
True.
food.
That is true,
It's because
right?
it's right near
It is better
Mexico,
than
and
New
there's
York, right?
a ton of fucking Korean immigrants.
Do you think Korean food in New York?
There's
sucks?
more Italian immigrants here than there are Korean immigrants in LA.
No, there aren't.
Yes, there are.
No, there aren't.
Because like something like 10% of Americans, don't they have like Italian American something?
I would
If
think
New
a
York
lot of-
City has more of Italian, I'll put good money on.
Oh, my
that.
bad. They're 5% of the population. But, we got a little Italy, San Pedro's very like Italian.
San Pedro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it good there? The pizza there?
I didn't try it. I mean, you're the one that lives near there.
I know. But
You've never even been there.
I mean, okay. So we just ordered Papa John's.
This fucking-
It's funny because like
No,
when I
because
went to Duke, I only ordered Papa John's because that's the only thing that was available.
exactly.
out
When
there.
I was going to college, I mean, the first until sophomore year, Domino's was more popular. But then after the military service, everybody started eating Papa
that
John's. and
garlic sauce.
The garlic sauce. Yeah, something about that one.
I mean, but now you're by
like
San
crack.
Pedro. You can get
I'm
the best
about
pizza,
to.
like
I'm
from
about- that's what I heard.
Italians.
That's what I heard. That it's really good. From our Rocco Life, I saw Kilogram stop by.
It's
so
like
it made me
it's
wanna
like
want-
if somebody was
wonder.
like, "Oh, they're Koreans in New York City. What is kalbitang? They just throw shit in whatever."
Well, apparently David Chang is like the king of Korean food out there, or no?
David Chang is
Say it.
a hack.
Say it, man.
He's a hack.
Hack.
No, he was about to say F and retard.
Were
I
you?
could read it.
No, I wanted to pick the specific thing I wanted to say. He's like, I have never went to a David Chang restaurant and have been impressed.
How many have you been to?
I've been to Fuku. I've been to somewhere here. I forgot what it's called. It was like.
Are you sure it wasn't like a Roy Choi
Yes, I'm very
establishment? Okay, because I sometimes I
But
mix
yes,
them
I
up.
am also very unimpressed with Roy Choi as well.
And Roy Choi, I think Koreans don't like it that much. I mean, I'm just saying. Probably other races, ethnic groups.
I don't think he
enjoy
makes it for Koreans
Nah,
though, right?
I think so.
But
Yeah.
do you remember at the Lion Hotel, which is formerly the Radisson?
Yeah,
He had a
Lion
restaurant there called Pot.
Oh, did he? Okay, I didn't
Eat
know that.
at Pot,
Uh-huh.
and he would. It was like Cheonggol. You don't remember that?
I think I heard of it, but I never.
So
stopped
it was
by.
just like the hot pot Korean, like budae-jjigae or
And that was good.
닭도리탕. I think I went on a bad day, but the rice was really off. I think the wrong person cooked it or something, and then we got they called it the 닭, which is like a
닭.
닭도리탕 kind of thing. It wasn't bad, but Roy was there and he
Oh,
said
Roy
hello.
was there. Okay.
And yeah, but I don't know, it didn't last.
Yeah, because Roy blew up because of the gogi taco thing, right?
Right, the kogi,
Chaegol?
Yeah, I mean gogi taco with
the taco trucks,
the taco trucks.
the kalbi
He
or
was a pioneer
bulgogi
of that,
tacos.
what I understand. He started it, right? Did he start it,
I
or did he make it
guess.
blow up? Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is like a long time ago now.
Yeah, but yeah, I think especially Koreans here, since we're at KTOWN and there's so many good Korean restaurants here. Some even argue that it's better than some restaurants in Seoul, Korea. So there's so many places to go
I don't
here,
know.
right?
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, that could be true. Like the best restaurants here can be better than the mid-tier restaurants in Seoul. I'm like,
okay.
that could be true,
Okay.
sure.
Yeah. When I'm in Korea, I'll go to like random, the 24-hour kimbap cheongguks or those places, and I go there and I would eat it and I'd be like, man, this kimchi jjigae sucks. But you could go to a really good place there, so that would beat the best places here. I know
Yeah.
we have good food here, but
It's the best food outside of Korea.
No, I think they say
best Korean food outside of Korea.
you don't think that would be like in China, in the Korean, Yanbian Korean?
I mean, that's like, North Korea.
they have a little bit more amount here. That's what a lot of Koreans say when they come over here to Los Angeles
They have
and
a lot
try
of what?
Koreatown. The amount wise,
Yang.
Oh,
the
yang
yang
is in Korea they say it's much smaller. I didn't notice it until they mentioned it. I didn't notice.
Oh,
until
you
they
mean the
mentioned
portions?
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
think
I mean,
that's
you gotta
necessarily
cater
true.
to fat Americans. So
No, but it's still mostly Koreans. No,
yeah,
because
who become fat because
in
we live here.
in Hongdae, I went to. Koreans are not that skinny anymore, by the way.
Oh,
Exactly.
do you think so? Oh.
But,
we become
Are
American.
they becoming Americanized there?
Hey, they're
too?
copying everything. No,
So even
They're becoming fat.
no,
too.
I went to a galbitang place there. It was like a wang galbitang. Anyway, Koreans eat a lot. They're obsessed
eat a
with
lot.
chease.
Are
You see
they?
how much
Oh,
cheese
yeah,
they
yeah.
eat?
Wait, how
Even
did,
at
how did, how did
Budae-jjigae, right?
people receive my fat phobic comments on your last?
My mom mentioned something about it. I forgot what she said, but she brought it up. Like, what's with him about the fat? And I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. So,
She, as a Korean woman, should know what is up with being fat.
but did you see you watched that
it's
episode?
like Korean women culture.
Wait, did you watch that episode?
Which one?
The one where you appear on the phone and talk
No, I
about?
didn't watch it yet.
It's pretty funny. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, but actually, if you look at the hip hop scene, the music scene, a lot of female artists now they pride themselves to have a lot of weight around their buttocks, and like Cardi B.
Yeah,
And
that's a deep state.
so I think a lot of that is probably starting to happen in Korea. It must be right,
Yeah,
because since it's
'cause they're
starting here,
copying-
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens there.
But
because-
South Korea is a very sovereign, independent nation that comes up with its own ideas and
Yep,
and
that's right.
controls itself. So
No,
of
I
course,
mean,
Right?
there's
South
no
Korea-
control
when
whatsoever.
we
here.
talk about when we talk about like Western deep state,
Oh,
yeah,
shit, here we go
obviously
again.
South Korea is more influenced compared to North Korea, without a doubt. Okay.
North Korea, the women there still walk around in hanbok. Like,
There's like 0%
and
influence
North
in
Korea,
North
they
Korea.
would change. They wouldn't even call like devil. In Korea, we would call it angma. I think they use, but angma is also a Chinese character. So North Korea would even change that to a different Koreanized expression. So
Oh,
even
yeah.
South Koreans know that, and they think that that's something to respect.
you ever see those, the paintings with the calligraphy and the Korean paintings? You know what I mean? The Korean paintings. You'll see like some painting of some trees or some yangban or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, right? Like
Yeah. Okay.
But you notice like the writing on there, they usually use Chinese characters. In North Korea, those same paintings, they're all in Hangul.
Korean.
They're
We're
all
talking
in the
about
Korean
calligraphy, right?
script. They don't use Chinese characters there because they're
Yeah.
super Korean.
calligraphy.
Yeah,
They don't use
so-
Chinese characters. but South Korea still does
but
a lot.
the Korean language is not very artistic.
What do you mean?
Oh man, I think that's very.
What do you mean it's not artistic?
I think it is.
Like
I think it's
Sojong writing.
You know,
what
there
do you
was,
mean the hunger? This
Yeah.
Kim Se-jong's. What do you mean? It's a very beautiful.
That's what I think too. You know, I
Alphabet.
mean, there was a
system.
linguist who said that Korean is the most beautiful language in the world. I mean, and
Was it a BTS army? No.
Is this I heard like decades ago, before K-pop and
mean, like-
K-wave and all that. Korea, you can read Korean, right? Can you?
Yeah, of course.
So it's easy to learn.
Well, yeah, but that's not like
it's very
that's
easy
not
to
a statement
learn,
of its
and
beauty.
I think
that's a statement of its usefulness.
So I had a friend in high school who hated everything about Korea, but he said language.
He's Korean?
He's Korean, but he said language is really great.
Why?
Wait,
did-
what's a
why did
beautiful
they hate-
language then? What's a
I think it's
beautiful?
Chinese. I mean, it's just literally
Do you know how to speak
Chinese
Chinese?
characters that represent what it's supposed to say. I don't speak Chinese.
But you
whatever.
How
sounds
many
beautiful.
characters can you write in Chinese
Zero?
besides one? You can't even write number one in Chinese.
I guess the what the straight
How
line?
do it? Let me see.
Is it the straight line? I don't know.
Horizontal or vertical?
I think it's horizontal.
Okay, yeah, you good. How about two?
That's two lines, right?
How about three?
Three lines.
How about four?
The line down the middle.
No,
I don't know.
starting from 4, it becomes a little bit more
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
complicated.
And then five, and then six, and then seven, and then eight.
8 is a little bit easy. And then,
Yeah. Speaking of it, do you have any connections? I do want to perfect my Korean.
Yeah.
Do you have like, someone that you know in Koreatown that like really teaches Korean well?
I don't know anyone that teaches well, but if you really want to learn, I suggest you date a Korean girl.
Well,
is dating the best way?
Well, if you're dating someone, isn't that the person you spend most of your personal time with?
so I have to date a Korean person that
No, I think-
cannot speak English
Are you
at all.
trying to stay solo and learn, or you want to?
I mean, I want to learn in general. I mean, if
You know what? You don't have to date, but just go out to dinner or whatever. Take Korean girls out and just talk to
just
them.
do that, just take random
No,
Korean girls
I think
who
you
don't
have,
speak
but
English.
you still have to have some basic skills. Do you watch?
He obviously has basic skills because he talks to his parents and.
Do you
some-
talk to
what is
your
that?
parents
I
in
don't know,
Korean?
just basic skills. What?
Do you talk to your parents in Korean a little bit, like semi?
Only in public when I don't want anyone else to know what I'm saying because they're embarrassing me.
So
When you're,
Like, for example, let's say we're at a restaurant and my mom is being way too pushy to the help because, that's the way she was raised in Korea. And I'm just kind of like, hey, don't do that. In
하지
Korean.
마세요. 하지 마세요.
well,
Well,
he doesn't say you.
I don't use.
What do you
say?
엄마. Come on.
엄마, come
엄마,
on.
come on. Do you
No, but like, or like
엄마, come on.
엄마, come on.
엄마, come on.
it's more. I don't know.
It sounds kind of
has to be in the
something
moment.
that could be popularized. 엄마, come on. How about-
엄마, come on.
It's more like. It's hard to explain. I have to be in that actual
Hey,
moment.
she
to,
taught
know what I'm
Korean. You
saying.
said your mom, Korean.
Yes. She was teaching the music class, I guess, in Korean
music
school.
class, not the Korean language.
But I guess she's Korean, so she can teach the Korean language, I guess.
So when you were growing up, your parents both spoke in Korean too, right?
Yes, mostly to each other.
Mostly to each other.
But they would speak English to
To
us.
you, to you. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So that's how.
How's your sister's Korean?
It's better than mine.
Better than yours, and
She's-
okay, yeah.
Well, she spent a summer there. She went to the Yonsei
In Korea?
program after.
She did the Yonsei summer
Yeah.
program. What year? Do you remember?
It was right after college, so it would have been 2000.
You know,
I mean, high school.
Oh, right after. Oh, she went at 18,
Yeah.
and she was born in 81, right?
Yes.
and you never got to do that 연세 어학원 those.
No, I
things.
didn't even want to.
Okay. Back
So
then you
she
did.
was there 5 years before I was, but I didn't do the summer program. I did the full program.
Yeah. But yeah, she also spent a year in France, so she's
A
also
year in
very.
France.
France, of course. Koreans
Fluent in
love
French.
France.
Koreans love France.
Their
Yeah.
their top bakery is tous les jours, Paris Baguette.
Yeah, but she's more westernized than. Yeah, she wanted to be in fashion design, so
Fashion
she
design.
was very
Oh,
into.
okay.
Shouldn't she go to like Milan or something?
I don't know. That's.
But why all of a sudden you want to learn Korean now?
Well, why
Why?
not?
Well,
you just
I
want
need to. Well, if I'm talking about
Because
Korea,
of the
and
K
Korean
wave,
politics,
not because of the K wave and all that.
not because of K wave, just because politically. Like if I'm talking about Korea and Korean politics, I should probably know the language really well.
You know how to say politics in Korean?
Politics.
Okay.
정치.
Yeah, I think there's online tutors in Korea.
Yeah, I want someone like more.
Interpersonal.
Yeah, I feel like I don't learn well.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
if you don't, at least if you don't have that, you can do that.
yeah. I guess I was just figuring since you are a Koreatown establishment that you would have connections to people
KTOWN
that,
establishment.
that teach Korean, right?
Yeah, watching K-drama helps a lot too, I think.
I mean, I
Watching
watch K-dramas, but,
do you
like-
put the captions on when you
Yeah.
listen?
So should I not?
I think you should. That's what I think. I think
But
you
shouldn't
should.
you not? So you're like,
I mean,
kind of
later.
like replaying
later.
it?
I think if you probably watch the same. So, for instance, like, what's the most popular K-drama right now?
눈물의 영혼.
눈물의 여왕, or you watch it all the way with caption, and then probably the next time go around, you kind of remove the caption and.
Yeah,
try to
you should watch
get it.
Queen of Tears because you can learn, I guess, what is expected in dating. I guess kind of, with Korean girls because obviously
What is expected?
well the way that you gotta talk and act. I mean, obviously you're 40 now, and I know you want to get married
40.
eventually to a Korean woman,
You want to marry.
and yeah,
I mean, it doesn't have to be Korean.
yeah, but preferably you want to be
yes,
with a
sure,
Korean woman.
preferably a Korean woman who is into communism.
Into communism.
Which is, I understand, is a very
You narrowed
tough
it.
task. So I'm not narrowing my field to just that.
That's like an American saying, I want a American girl who's into capitalism. Like, it's just, who cares about the communism thing?
Why don't you go to these
Just
groups?
love
There's a lot
one
of
Well,
another.
they can't be into like
Google Meetup.
they can't be a
Don't they have,
chebble.
yeah,
like
don't they have Google Meetup for communists?
the daughter of a chebble?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, there's a lot of communists here, I think.
Daughter of a
Google Meetup.
Cheba would be good. You can influence her to use her wealth
Yeah, but
to
what if
spread
she's
communism.
what if she's anti-communist?
Well, you can change her.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But you used to be anti-communist yourself, right?
I just was apolitical.
Apolitical all the way.
Yeah, I
Apolitical.
kind of like, I guess like as a growing up in New York, that was heavily Democratic, right?
Yeah. So you
I
automatically.
kind of was just kind of like, in 7th grade in U.S. history class, you learn about the Electoral College. You learn like, and just doing the math in my head, I was like, yeah, there's no way that a non-democratic candidate is going to win. So why even bother voting?
York,
That's like
right?
a waste
In
of
New
time. And not only that, like I said before, the American government doesn't care about Asian Americans at all.
They don't even care about white people.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
why would
that's
they-
more of a recent.
Why would they
more
care
recent
about
thing.
the rest of-
Exactly. Right. It's kind of like, yeah, it reminds me of like when some black person said something like, why are you guys praising black capitalists? It's not like the white capitalists care about white people. Do you think the black capitalists are just going to give you money? No.
Yeah. Does Puff Daddy care about people in Compton?
Well, Puff Daddy is
P Diddy.
Or did he? Or what?
It's more of
Sean?
a
Okay,
deep
Sean.
state-
Sean Combs.
he's
Mr.
a-
Combs.
He's a deep state operative.
I think he was. Yeah, I think
By the
he
way,
was.
apparently pizza came from Naples, which is, I guess, in the southern part of Italy.
Naples.
And my experience with Italians is that they can be very racist towards other Italians.
Oh.
Or even like, I met someone from northern Italy. She was from Rome. And she said something about how she doesn't like garlic or whatever because we were eating Korean food. And I was like, what?
Oh, she was just flat out saying it out loud.
Yeah, she's like, oh, garlic. I don't. And I'm like, you're Italian. Don't Italians eat lots of garlic? She's like, no, not in Rome. And she's like, you may be in the South. I'm like, what? And then I'm like, what? You don't like the South? She's like, they're peasants. And
Is
I'm
that
like,
racist or is that more like
Yeah, I don't know what you call that, but
I mean, that's.
But she was like a
happens
blonde
everywhere in
Italian.
Korea.
xenophobic?
but I guess like in the South they're darker.
Oh.
I guess.
So it's more Hitlerite.
Yeah.
So Naples came from the south side of Italy. You're saying that
Naples is in southern Italy, but Rome is not like way up north either.
They look a little bit more tan down there.
Yeah, and I
A
guess
little bit more Middle Eastern.
apparently
So like
it
Al
has to
Pacino
do
would
with
be where? Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, these Italians would be from the north, you think?
I have no
Mississippi.
idea.
Al Pacino's from Sicily, right?
no way.
I mean,
He's from
Are you
New
just
York.
like basing
I'm
this off
talking about
the
it.
mafia movies you've seen?
Okay,
He's from
I'm
New
not-
York.
He's from
You know-
Sicily, right? He's a Sicilian.
I'm not trying to stereotype.
Oh, his parents were Sicilian, yeah.
Right? Yeah, he was. I Wikipedia'd him before. And Al Pacino and I.
Wow. His mother was like from Corleone.
Corleone.
What
So
the
it was
fuck?
an Alco.
Wait,
So
wait.
he's actually a Corleone, real life Corleone, Michael Corleone.
You saw Godfather, right? Of course.
Yeah.
Well, whereas Robert De Niro's also from New York, but
Yeah.
his parents, like, see, he's not fully Italian.
he's not fully
like,
Italian.
His
Yeah.
father's like Irish and Italian, and then his mother's like Dutch, English, French. So his Italian side is like just a tiny
Just
fraction.
tiny fraction. But Al Pacino, he was from, I think, that's what I understand.
So that's what.
And then he played a
yeah.
Cuban. He played a
He
Cuban
did
gangster.
play a Cuban in the
Yeah.
Scarface, right?
And
Scarface.
Scarface and Carlito's Way, was that also?
I don't know.
Carlito's Way was De Niro, I think. Yeah. Is that a
was
good
it?
one, though? I didn't watch that. No, I'm talking
Carlito's
about,
Way. I don't really recall.
No, I'm talking about Scarface.
Scarface
I
is.
I didn't watch it.
Scarface.
One of the great.
You know, I go back and watch it every once in a
Oh,
while
okay.
because it has some amazing scenes.
Got
And
it.
the guy who played Don Ilario in Breaking Bad,
Oh, he's in that.
Is he there?
he plays Al Pacino's like right hand, like his
He's
best
the
buddy.
one that he kills.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
wow.
fucking Don Ilario.
Oh, now I gotta rewatch that.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, in Scarface, he's all like trim and slim, and then in
It's funny because there are references to Scarface and Breaking Bad as well. Like
Oh, dude, that's it.
they're watching him and Walt Jr. are watching the movie. It's like, oh, everyone dies in this one or something, and then Skylar looks on and it's like,
pretty much, yeah, everyone dies in that, doesn't?
Michelle
yeah.
Pfeiffer comes out there too, right?
Yeah,
Michelle
but
Pfeiffer.
she disappears.
Pretty quickly.
me to be the bad guy.
So that was Al Pacino's really great movie, right? I mean, his acting, where he
I mean,
shows
The
his acting
Godfather
chops.
was really the one where
Godfather
he
was
became-
great, yeah, but he didn't have a lot of lines. Wasn't he kind of like talking with his eyes, pretty much? You know, like
Well, I mean,
especially
Yeah.
Godfather 2.
you know what I'm saying? You know
Godfather
what I mean?
2, he definitely had.
yeah,
you
but
know,
in
he was the main
Godfather
character.
1, you see him start off. He's like this nice little, war
Yeah, I
veteran
know,
with
war
the white
veteran. Yeah,
girlfriend,
he-
with
he-
the
he
blonde
wanted to-
girlfriend.
He wanted nothing to do with the gangster.
But then
stuff.
after his father gets attacked and everything, and like all the brothers are like deciding, like what's like, they're
Yeah.
all like, "What do we do?" You see Michael Al Pacino, he's just sitting there like thinking, and you see like him starting to like use his
Yeah.
brain. And he's like, and he comes up with the plan how to take out.
You mean on the table, the restaurant scene you're talking
Yeah,
about, right?
when he plans that in
Yeah.
that room, and then you see him transition from like this sweet boy who
Yeah.
was a
War
national hero and had his like blonde girlfriend, whatever.
and he considered
then,
his family like a shame, right? He
well, he's like,
considered them
that's my
like a-
family,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
not me.
yeah, yeah.
And then, obligation or responsibility, whatever, family stuff kind of forces him into a position where he doesn't want to be. And he's like, okay, if I'm going to do this,
Mm-hmm.
I got to, and he becomes absolutely ruthless.
Yeah.
Absolutely like ruthless. And I mean, guy kills his own brother. Like, Jesus.
Fredo.
That was
But
in the
seems-
second movie, right?
Yeah, that was in the second one.
movie, and it seems like that guilt trip went all the way to the third movie too, because that's
Well, we don't talk about
apparently
the third movie. No, just kidding.
No, I mean, I think you didn't like it, the third one.
It was all right. I just
You liked it, right? The third one.
it was just
one
unnecessary.
was-
You know what?
Okay.
A lot of people were talking shit about it when it came out, and even when but I think, and I always thought it was okay. Like I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I thought it was a sad ending, but in recent years, I see that now the haters have kind of disappeared,
Retro.
and now they're kind of saying like, "Oh, what a great trilogy,"
Yeah.
because they always used to say the third one was shit.
They used to say that,
But,
but I enjoyed the third one too.
But number 2 was awesome because of De Niro, the flashbacks.
It was like number 2 was basically 2 movies.
I mean, yeah, exactly. And I think that's when people said the sequels became greater because of Godfather Part 2. It was great, because it was his father's story, right? It was Al Pacino's.
It was
dad.
both.
Was it
So-
dad's story, right?
Robert
he
De-
was playing Marlon Brando.
Robert De Niro is the young Marlon
was
Brando.
young
yeah.
Marlon Brando. Yeah.
So they're happening in tandem. Like there's one scene in
Yeah.
the
And that was
early
amazing.
1900s, and then there's one scene in the present when he's like talking to like Congress or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that fucking guy who would
Congress scene
he
was
tried
great.
to shake him for some money, like,
Yeah.
and then they killed a
They killed
prostitute and like
the horse, right?
no, that's in the first
yeah,
one, but
yeah.
in part 2, the senator guy, I guess he was at a whorehouse or something that the Corleones were running, and then they killed
the
her.
prostitute died.
And then he's like, "Oh my god, what do I do?" He's like, "Hey, all that matters is our friendship."
Yeah.
Anyway, Godfather, everyone,
They should check it out.
make sure you watch. I think anyone who's like a millennial or born before
They might not know
1990,
it.
maybe
they might
they've-
not know it.
Yeah.
But I think if you're born in the 80s, at least you've seen it. But after like 1990, I think a lot of them haven't seen Godfather yet, and that's like sometimes I just go on YouTube to watch clips.
Me too. Yeah, everyone's.
When I went to college for the first time, that was the first time I got T1 connection. So I downloaded a lot of movies when I was in college. So I'm sure that the youth has watched it.
You said what? T1 connection?
T1 internet line. Remember those?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
So like, you know, you could download so many like different types of movies or whatever. And so I think the younger generation has watched it. Those enough that are curious enough about film.
Yeah, even the Congress scene was kind of cool. It looked like real Congress. I mean, the movies, the staging was great, and George Lucas was involved actually for the second team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of the
George
action.
Lucas.
Yeah, a lot of the action scenes because he was a mentee of
I see.
Francis Ford Coppola.
You know, there's a pizza place on Wilshire by La Brea, about a block, Wilshire and Sycamore, called Apollonia's. You know Apollonia. That was Michael Corleone's first wife in Sicily,
Oh.
the one who got blown up.
Oh, they have the restaurant here. You're saying?
I'm sure, because I've never ever. Anyway, I'm sure they named that restaurant after her.
What do you think about the idea that Western media or Hollywood emphasizes the Italian mafia, but de-emphasizes the Jewish mafia's role in...
Hey, Dave Chappelle said you're not supposed to talk about it. It's a coincidence.
And that the Jewish mafia had just as much, if not more, influences.
Yeah.
All I know is Meyer Lansky. Like, he's the only one that I know of.
Yeah, I think apparently if you talk a lot about Jewish stuff, because I know a lot of people who talked about like Jews doing the Uniparty thing, and they were warned by YouTube. You know, so I think even Jackson Hinkle seemed to know a lot of YouTube guidelines.
If it's the Italian mafia, you can talk all you want
Seems
about
like
it.
so, like Sopranos. Sopranos is also Italian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, even in high school, you know, did you have it in your high school, like every morning, on the PA system, like would go on to the whole school and the vice principal would send a message to all the students in the morning for like a minute or two? And one time he was saying, and don't forget, this Friday we're having Italian Cultural Day, and so here's an offer you can't refuse. You know, they would do stuff like that, even you know. And I'm like, okay, I seen The Godfather in high school, so... But I looked around. I don't think a lot of the other people got it. But yeah,
But probably
the Italian thing is always like mob or pizza.
Yeah, so I heard that Italians, they really take great offense to that. That somehow that they're connected to these gangs.
Not a lot.
You know.
I mean, it's like a smaller contingent. It's more like, especially now that like, you know, I feel like in the past 10 to 20 years, it's more black gangs that are being kind of like glorified in media
these days. Yeah.
What black gangs are being glorified?
like
Crips,
you know like
Bloods?
like movies like Get Rich or Die Trying or Straight
Like
Outta
20
Compton.
years ago.
Is that based on 50 Cent's real life story, or is that a completely like fictionalized?
It's based on a story.
Oh, it is.
Or Straight Outta Compton or
Straight Outta Compton was, you know, Straight Outta Compton, that rubs me the wrong way because I know Ice Cube, he's now on the, you know, awake side and all that, but
Awake side?
I mean, I wouldn't say woke, but I'm talking about the one, you know, he talked many controversial issues that a lot of alternative media people are talking. But isn't he the one who wrote about Black Korea? Wasn't there some Korean?
Yeah.
I think the Korean community as a whole should kind of ask his apology or something. You know.
well they
did he apologize?
He did, but it was like too little too late.
Yeah, I'm pissed off whenever I talk.
So don't follow me up and down your market, or your little chop suey ass will be a target of the nationwide boycott. Something, right? So pay respect to the black fist, or we'll burn your store right down to a crisp. And then we'll see ya, because you can't turn the ghetto into Black Korea.
Yeah, and I think Ice Cube came up with the lyrics, right? He's the one who wrote that.
Well,
that
don't they
lyrics.
normally come up with their own?
Yeah.
No.
Tupac's lyrics were written by Suge Knight.
No, I think NWA seems like most of the lyrics were written by.
What does
Ice Cube.
NWA stand for?
N with attitudes, N word with attitudes. So
Neanderthals? What?
N word. But anyway, yeah, I mean, but yeah, Straight Outta Compton. But like you said, I mean, but Italian. Did you watch that Gangs of New York movie with Daniel Day-Lewis in it?
And DiCaprio, yeah.
And they talk about Irish gangs first, right? Didn't Irish gangs take over
wasn't it
New York
Irish
first, and then it became Italian?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not totally up to date with the
Irish
gang war.
gangs. Yeah, it seems like it was all gangs back in the day. You know, they were just killing each other.
It's just
seeing
like
who
it's
talks
just
who.
any sort of like immigrant kind of when they come to a new nation, they don't know the language, they don't know whatever, blah blah blah. I mean, like there's been Asian gangs too, Korean gangs, Chinese gangs.
Were there Korean gangs in New York?
No.
Oh, there weren't.
Were you, when you moved here, were there Korean gangs in LA?
Because I lived in a countryside, you know.
Yeah, you lived in Oklahoma, but
so
then you came to LA in like
that
2000.
was 2002. And what I remember is, you know, as a newspaper journalist, that 사건 사고 always happened all the time. You know, the people were being gunned down. You know, a lot of Koreans, but I didn't hear a lot about Korean gangs that much. But I heard that there is.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't
there
very well organized, or they didn't have.
It's not like Cribs.
They
right?
didn't have like a business or an MO. Like the way I hear about it, I don't know too much about it because I didn't grow up in LA, but from what I've been told, it was just basically dudes who just were angry and wanted to beat people up.
Korean dudes.
Yeah.
Is that why?
Just act like gangpes or whatever.
Do they still exist? They must still exist, right? Korean gangs, I would think. No, they're pretty
I don't
much
know.
gone.
Like it was a lot more common in the 90s. I remember.
It was
like
the 90s thing.
there was always like, "Where are you from?" and all this, and there was what LGKK.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jeff
now everyone
Rocks.
thinks it's just lame.
So these are students. These are not students. These are people who dropped out of school, or you know, those.
Well, the
people,
thing
right?
is, a lot of them ended up going to like really good schools too. And,
Yeah,
They
a
were
lot
good
of
at
people,
academia,
yeah,
too, right?
basically, a lot of people thought Korean gangs were like just posers.
Okay.
no,
But-
but they were killers too.
But didn't they help the community during the
Yeah.
92 riots? They're supposed to be considered heroes. They protected.
Well, I don't know if
KTOWN.
every one of those guys were part of the Korean
Yeah, but
gangs.
many of them are.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them did go to good schools. Like the ones that I went to school with, I know a lot of them went to like UCLA or whatever afterwards, and then some of them, like one who was my friend, he went to prison, and then you know he actually got killed by police last year because he was still doing.
You mean the one on the news, right?
I think it was in the news, but anyway, there's a video of it on YouTube. But I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, and then there's another guy who was involved in that stuff, and I think he went to prison too. I heard he got shot, but he seems to be alive because he's on Facebook. I haven't like said anything because I don't want to. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Like, how's it been? You know?
Yeah, I guess it's just like there's been no sort of connective tissue to the next generation of Korean gangs, right? Like, because most people, my generation and younger, they're kind of like, you know, there's much more familiarity with like how to get into good schools and how to like, you know, get good jobs and stuff like that. So the Korean gang, there's no incentive to be part of a Korean gang anymore, I guess.
Probably. You're
Or
right.
the incentive is removed.
And maybe back then, because maybe Asians were getting bullied, so they had to kind of
Make
get together
get their
to
own,
fight
yeah.
back against, or you know, at least have other groups fear them so that they don't get bullied or teased. But the thing is, a lot of them would end up fucking with other Koreans, so they would fuck with me and my. So the guy, the friend of mine who got killed, we used to get bullied together, like in ninth grade, and then later this guy went like pretty hardcore and like
gangster.
every time I saw him in K-Town, he was always in a fight. Even driving down the road, I see a big fight break out on the street. I stop the car just to watch. He's in the middle of the fight. See him at a bar, fight breaks out. He's in the middle of the fight.
So probably he got tired of getting bullied and went the complete opposite
Well,
way.
and then he even told me that he confronted our bullies later on. Like,
Track them down.
no, they just saw them somewhere in K-Town, and that they were so scared of him. Like, hey, kick back, man. That's what they say. Kick back, man. Chill out. Like, you know, I got a job now. You know, you know, like, you know, I'm not like that anymore. And he must have scared the shit out of them. Yeah, but yeah, that was back then, and it was kind of crazy back then because
And he's the one you said who got killed, or
yeah, but
Eventually.
he was doing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it was fully justified, but whatever.
I mean, it's just kind of like, you know, you do that kind of shit for that long. It
yeah.
catches
I
up to
mean,
you.
I think that's what happens to even Sopranos. Didn't Tony Soprano die in the end?
That's kind of unknown.
Oh, is
right?
it unknown?
But
Okay.
it seems like it.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the message for most kind
Yeah,
of gangster sort of
mean,
movies.
If you're in that world, I think it's
Yeah.
very hard to survive all the way to the end, right?
Yeah.
When you're killing each other, when killing.
Yeah, and that's why people
your
like
mojo.
you know Meyer Lansky, the Jewish gangster, like who was affiliated with the Italian mob. That guy lived a very long and healthy life.
Did he?
He died at a very old age of like he died at 80. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was alive when he died. Like that's how long he lived. And then Lucky Luciano, I think he died of a heart attack at an airport.
So So
But he lived till 60. Yeah, he died at Naples International Airport.
So these are gang members who
I guess
who
he
were
was indeed lucky.
successful in the longevity.
Well, they weren't taken out, and then like he died a free man. I think John Gotti died in prison, didn't he? He was a big
John Gotti,
star.
is that the Irishman movie?
John Gotti was the Dapper Don. He was like in the 80s. He was like the New York Italian mob boss who.
I think his story is covered on the Irishman.
Mafia stuff that was pretty much solved by the 1950s, 1960s, and subsumed
by the feds. Did the feds get rid of him?
But then
there was a deep state that got rid of him.
The FBI was on their case, but then the CIA used them for their own purposes, especially in Cuba.
As their proxies.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Shimido thing going on.
Yeah. You don't know about that? You know about that, right? You know that CIA used mafia like during the 1950s.
Yeah, I heard of it, but I didn't get into detail.
I know that the mafia
right?
was used towards the end of World War II because the mafia, I guess, controlled some ports or something, and I believe that's how Lucky Luciano was able to get some kind of deal, in that they were helping the U.S. government in World War II. And I think, that's what happened there, yeah.
Well, a lot of Nazi rat lines came from Italy as well.
Apparently, there's a famous YouTuber now, right? Former gangster. What's his name? Michael Francis, or he's a huge influencer now. But I think he was involved in a lot of gangster stuff. Italian.
Anyway, But
the Korean American experience.
Yeah, so back to Korean Americans. So when I was young, there was a movie that I heard about from like other Americans, and it made me kind of feel proud. Like, oh, Korean. You know what I'm talking about? Best of the Best. Remember that movie?
Best of the Best. It has a Korean character there, right?
I think it was written by...
That was very popular.
You remember Best of the Best?
Best of the Best. Yeah.
Like it
was huge, right?
With Eric Roberts.
In the 80s.
You don't remember this movie?
No. That was before.
Is that
that's Sean Penn's brother, I think Chris Penn.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Julia Roberts' brother, Eric Roberts.
In the middle, right?
Yeah, and then on the right, that's what's his name? Reed.
Dude. I did not watch this, but I heard that it's such a great movie. I think I watched parts of it when it was on TV.
83% like it,
Yeah.
but I would say probably 90% of Koreans would like it.
I
don't know.
Only
For
33%
me,
on Rotten
the
Tomatoes.
movie was Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
No, because
Wait, did you watch that movie?
I did.
What did you think?
The first one or the second? So the first one was Guantanamo, right?
Just the first one.
The first one.
Did you watch it in theaters?
No.
When did you watch it?
I watched it when it probably
DVD.
But soon after, around the same time.
After,
okay, so what did you think as a Korean person?
So John Cho, initially John Cho came out from American Pie, right? So he was that MILF dude. Okay, so he got his first, so it's like a first Korean main character protagonist movie.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I thought, it's great, let's see.
And it was the first time you hear kimchi jjigae in an American film. When Bobby Lee's like kimchi jjigae.
And there were a lot of reviews. I think a lot of Korean, like 중앙일보 and Hangulilbo.
They talked about it too.
They reviewed it, of course.
It didn't come out in Korea though, right? Obviously, because it's about weed.
Yeah, they probably censored it.
I don't remember. I don't know.
No,
because I was here.
It wasn't. States. I remember it wasn't in Korea.
Yeah, because even in the reviews.
But what did they say?
I remember even in the reviews, it was kind of short. To have like such a main Korean actor in there. So credit wise, doesn't his name come first? John Cho comes first, and then the other Indian dude. It wasn't covered that much, and I felt there must be something to it, and obviously there was a reason because it was talking about weed. I enjoyed the movie. I liked it personally, and I didn't even know that White Castle, there was a franchise named White Castle. After the movie, I really craved that. I wanted to try that, burger, but I heard that they only sell it on East Coast. Probably you tried a lot of it, yeah.
I saw it in Chicago too, but you can buy it at the supermarket, the White Castle.
They sell it, right?
In the frozen food section, the White Castle burgers.
Yeah, and I wanted to try that, and, but apparently...
But, like, what did you think as, like, a Korean... Like, did you think it was like, oh, this I like this because it's a Korean person, or just I like this movie in general?
I liked it because it was both.
Yeah.
I liked it in general, and I think
Did you feel
it.
like it was like an accurate representation of like Korean American?
I think it kind of did, to be honest with you, because I think it showed John Cho as a nerdy, academia oriented, and his colleagues pushed all the workload to him because he's good at math or whatever, and I think that showed.
Or I guess like another question I have is like in American media since that movie came out, do you think there's another movie that accurately portrays Korean
Accurately.
Korean American.
I don't know accurately, but I think in Walking Dead when Steven Yeun came out as a pizza delivery.
But that's not like
he played a cool character, right? In that one.
There's nothing Korean there though.
Yeah, that's not like really a Korean movie. It's more of like a.
I mean, but even Harold and Kumar, like, what's the Korean?
No, him being a nerdy dude, right? Isn't he kind of? What do you think?
Like I guess like if for me,
I wouldn't
when
say
I look
nerdy,
at like
but-
Hollywood films about Asian Americans, like yes, I know that it was written by two Jewish guys.
Was it written by Jewish guys? I did not know that. Okay.
But they based it off their friend character in New Jersey, Harold Lee.
So
they did base it off a guy that they actually knew, and his friend, I guess Indian guy. I guess like for me, when I watched that movie, I was like, this is the only movie, like to this day, where I was like,
the only movie?
This feels like I could be that character. Like every other movie, it's just kind of like
it's kind of
I'm not gonna be fucking Jackie Chan. I'm not gonna be like Kung Fu
Kung Fu
Master.
Man.
I'm not gonna be fucking Shang-Chi. I'm not gonna be
Did you like Beef?
But I
thought Beef was okay. I think it was a little overhyped.
Yeah,
for me.
Shang-Chi too. I heard that the dude is actually not a really martial artist. He's a stuntman. He used to be a stuntman or something.
I mean, like, yeah. He learned a lot of that
Moore.
stuff.
Yeah.
More recently.
Have you seen Gook?
Yeah.
What'd you think of Gook? You know Justin Chon? You know him personally?
I don't know him personally. I know a lot of people that know him. I guess it was. To me, that was also overhyped, and I think it danced around kind of like the main issues.
And it ends with dancing, right?
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
How did you like it?
It was all right.
It's a movie about Korean Americans.
It's about the LA riots. It's about something that a story taking place during the LA riots.
I mean, just for the title to.
It's like a Korean shop owner and then like a black girl, right? Or like a black
that's like
neighborhood black girl. Oh, and then about the relationship between the second gen son and his father and like the anger or the whatever.
Yeah.
But they titled it Gook.
Yeah.
Okay. So the one that you just kind of clicked on, Minari. Minari kind of
Yeah,
portrayed a
Minari.
lot
Did you
of
like
Korean
that?
immigration
I haven't seen
story.
it, but did you like it?
I thought
It was boring.
Yeah.
That's
I was
what
just
I
kind
thought
of
you
like
would say. Yeah.
okay, so what's the point?
I know
What's the
Harold
point of
and
this
Kumar wasn't
story?
boring, but I understand what you're trying to say with Minari. Minari was not an easy thing to go through, but it portrayed the immigration story pretty correctly. But I think Steven Yeun, his Korean pronunciation was very it was very Americanized. Yes,
I mean, he's American, so
I know, but they portrayed him like not. Like a
That's
guy
why
from
I didn't
first
watch
generation.
it because that would totally throw me off.
Yeah,
sure, but I think it's just like this is a movie for American
does
audiences,
kinda,
right?
Yeah.
It's not
so
really
in that
like for
sense,
Korean.
it kind of it's.
Have you seen Soul Searching?
No.
This is a
How
good
was it?
movie.
Is it good?
Uh,
Is that with Steven Yeun too?
No, I don't think so. Justin Chon is in it.
I've seen it, but
Chaim-pyo.
not a.
Chaim-pyo
not
is
a
in
fan
this?
at all.
What's that drama that came out in the 90s?
사랑은 그대 품 안에.
그대 품 안에.
That was like the biggest.
You remember that?
Biggest drama ever. Chaim-pyo actually lives in Irvine, what I understand.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he does. And
Can you get him on the show?
Bedell, I went to
Wait,
Bedell
what-
Church and
what
he gave a
drama
speech
is this?
there. I would love him to bring him.
How do you say that?
So
Love.
Chaim-pyo, Chaim-pyo after he went to military service, after he finished
I don't even
the
know who this
military
guy
service,
is. So
I think you should know him because he was such a huge figure in the 1994. It was.
What was he in?
There's a drama called 사랑을 그대 품 안에, means putting love in your heart or whatever. I'm just pretty much just.
Here, maybe you remember the song. Maybe your
Yeah.
parents were watching this and you remember.
Exactly.
no.
So you'll know the song. Oh, that's not it. I'm sure you know the song though.
Yeah, it's famous, right? Did they make that music for this drama? Right?
I think so.
Yeah, and
no.
you don't know that motorcycle scene, and so everything went.
No.
Yeah,
I guess your parents didn't really watch
Yeah.
dramas.
Not this one.
So this was like, so he would get 10,000 fan mails per day. I would say.
10,000 per
it was-
day?
No, I think he said 1,500.
So it was a K-drama
It was a
heartthrob
K-drama heartthrob,
in the early 90s.
and he was like a newcomer. Nobody even knew who he was.
Yeah, my parents weren't into this kind of stuff anyway. They were into like
and they actually married in real life.
the
Oh,
historical
they did?
dramas.
And Shinera, you didn't know? Yeah, Shinera, and they actually married. And it was a phenomenon.
Oh, Love in Your Heart.
Yeah,
Okay, they
Love
did
in Your
meet
Heart.
there.
I don't know.
And then after that, he went to military service because he didn't do it. He actually had American citizenship, but I think he gave up on that one. He was a divorce. He had one divorce prior to this, but anyway, after military service, he came back, but he wasn't popular anymore.
Cha In-pyo, he's an older guy now, and I saw Netflix made a movie about him.
Did he? Oh,
It's
did they? I didn't know.
It's about him, and he stars in
Documentary.
it. It's called like What Happened to Mr. Cha, and I watched a few minutes of it. It's kind of weird and quirky, and I don't really get.
Yeah,
it's about like he's like I'm not famous anymore, and it's
because the drama that they made right after he got discharged was 별을 그대 품 안에. That was with probably you 별은 내 가슴에. That was
I know that one.
You know that one, right?
Wait, is that the da-na-na?
I think so. Yeah, 별은 내 가슴에. That was huge too. But during that drama, so he was supposed to be the protagonist, right?
Wait, that's like about like gangs and stuff, right?
Yeah, it
like,
is.
There's
I
like
think it
gangs
was.
with,
I think it was.
with sticks fighting each other.
I think it was. So that guy
yeah,
blew
I know.
up.
별은 내 가슴.
Anju blew up.
Yeah.
So they switched and they changed
I know
all the
Anju.
Anju blew up. That's actually Cha In-pyo's comeback drama. Initially it was advertised that way, but since he wasn't blowing up as he used to be.
Wait. So that drama was the Anjeuk one, the one where he's like driving an
Anju,
Z3
there's a
roadster.
rivalry, and the other guy was Cha In-pyo. You know what I mean?
Right, but in that drama, is he driving a C3 roadster?
I don't know. I forgot, man. I was in the military actually, so I didn't get to
Probably
watch a lot of it.
Anyway, you should watch that soul-searching movie.
I watched it.
Is that good? Is that a good one?
It's whatever.
You watched it?
Whatever.
You watched it?
Yeah.
So you catch up on these Asian entertainment.
Yeah, that was my job for like,
Your job?
I'm trying to break into the industry.
Yeah.
I have to know.
So you must have gone into a lot of auditions too.
Not really.
Hey, let's.
not really that
anyway,
many
it's time to
auditions.
wrap up.
Okay.
Why don't we end with some North Korean EDM?
Okay, let's try that.
Let's just react
This
to
is
this.
a music video, right?
Yeah.
And it got
I
more
don't
than-
know. I don't know if it's official, but David, can you hear it pretty well? Okay, cool.
You want to sing? Anybody want to sing along?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know the lyrics. Eya cha. Let's follow the flag.
Wait,
of
we
the
were
workers' party.
singing along to it earlier.
No, I wasn't. I don't know the song.
Sure.
It's catchy.
So
It sounds like a Russian.
So if you watch
Russian
North
Korean
Korean
hybrid.
channels, it's like MTV, right? They show a lot of music videos.
Yeah.
Where they're Chalima there.
I don't think this was made by the state.
Can you dance to
If
this?
I were to guess, I don't think this was made by the state.
How would you dance to this?
I don't know.
Can you dance to this at a rave? Like this?
It's just very Russian sounding.
So what would happen if they turned this on in the middle of a rave? And they're,
They might go, or they would just be
So
like,
it's
"What the
funny
fuck?"
because like I was saying like to some people, I was like, yo, what if we just all came in like Vietnamese military like uniforms and carried banners of Ho Chi Minh onto the stage
At a rave?
at
a rave?
EDC, just like
At a rave?
like because like people come and theme things like together. All they they come all in a certain.
the
theme, whatever.
Russian music that I listened to back in early 2000s, because I went to Russia for a couple of weeks, it sounded pretty Western, the music. Like even they had nightclub music, and it was
Well,
even
Well,
yeah.
I mean, what about the Soviet music?
that I never listened
Yeah,
to it.
of course, after
and I
they-
think they had their own kind of countryside music.
Or Victor Tsoi?
But I remember the song sounded really good. I mean, it was really there
Hey.
was. That's Kim Jong.
Yeah, when I landed in
That's Kim Il
Vietnam,
Sung.
Kim Jong-il?
when I landed in Vietnam, they had like Vietnamese EDM playing in the car
When did you go to Vietnam?
2 years ago.
Well, how was it? Was it great? Because it's cheap.
I loved it.
Yeah, because
But,
a lot of my friends loved going to Vietnam.
Yeah, because
it's-
I think a lot of people don't know this, but China has been the fastest growth economy in the past 40, 50 years.
now it's Vietnam, right?
Vietnam is second. So like they kind of they were a little late because like obviously they were fighting off
Suppressed.
America for 10 years.
Fighting off America. Deep
And the
State?
French before.
And the French and the Japanese as well. So they ran through the gamut of all these world powers fucking up their shit.
Are they westernized a little bit? That's
Vietnamese
why-
are tough
Vietnam?
motherfuckers, huh?
They are. I mean, like, I guess they were somewhat westernized because of French occupation. So there is a decent Catholic contingent in the South. But yeah, and their language, they used to have Chuhan, which is, Hanja for them.
You're talking about Vietnamese.
Yeah,
Hanja.
but now, the French made it into anglicized or Romanized characters.
With all those
so they
marks.
so they still use, I guess, Romanized characters for their language.
And they have good bread.
Good bread.
But
yeah,
yeah,
I heard that their
because
foods are good.
Their bread
That's what I heard.
French.
French bread.
And the pho was good. Did you try pho?
Pho.
Or the pho?
Pho.
I'm not a fan of cilantro.
Okay.
So I like my pho without
Oh,
it.
you don't like cilantro either.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't like cilantro, so I like my pho without it. But,
Coriander.
yeah.
Kosu.
But I had a banh mi sandwich.
Banh mi sandwich.
On
That's
my-
like anti-America sandwich? Banh mi?
No, banh mi is.
Oh, that's what in Korean banh mi means against America. Like
Oh
shin
no,
mi.
it's just a sandwich.
That's a good. Okay,
It's
banh
like
mi.
a
I love
French
banh mi. No.
Vietnamese like fusion.
Okay.
Like,
Have you
where
had a Vietnamese sandwich?
No.
Oh.
It's like French bread.
I think pho grew on me. I didn't
You
even
keep
like
saying pho.
It's
that
pho.
much. It's pho. Okay.
Yeah.
Like FUCK minus the CK.
Yeah.
Pho.
Probably. Yeah. Pho. Do you like pho? No, you said you don't like it that much.
You said you don't like
Apparently, I
cilantro.
like what my Vietnamese
Pho.
friend says
Pho.
is the northern style. That it's just like very.
the communist style.
I guess so. Apparently, the one that I don't like is the one with a lot of ginger and a lot of cilantro in it. That gingery taste.
I
I
have
never
a
had the gingery one.
college friend who lives in Vietnam, and he said it's great. The price and
Yeah,
the
I think just
income.
overall,
the
like-
lifestyle is good. Yeah.
Ho Chi Minh City and Ho Chi Minh City especially, I think is like up and coming.
Formerly known as Saigon, right?
Yeah, it reminded me. Yeah, they call it the fall of Saigon in '75. I call it the liberation of Ho Chi Minh City.
You seem to give a lot of major props to Vietnam because they beat United States. Right?
Beat the Americans, French, and Japanese, huh?
Yeah, they beat
They're
the
tough.
trifecta.
They are tough. They are tough MFers.
Think about it, like
The trifecta.
For
What was it again? America, France, and
In Japan.
basically
Japan.
since 1940, from 1941
Oh,
to
shit.
1975, there were 34 years of constant warfare, and now they're like, they're becoming a place where apparently like American veterans are going there and like retiring there now. Like American veterans that fought Vietnam,
They
are
go to
like, hey,
Vietnam and to live there.
Vietnam is
It's a good
better than
place to live.
America now.
Yeah. Hey, last thing before we go. When you were in Vietnam, how long were you there, and did you go meet and hang out with Vietnamese
I was
women?
only there for like 2.5 days.
why only 2.5?
Huh?
Why only 2.5?
I was really going with a friend. We were so he lives in Vietnam now, but he had business, I guess, in Vietnam, Singapore. He's like a kind of like a cryptocurrency
So
guy.
you also went to Singapore? On
I
that
went to
trip?
Singapore as well. So on the first leg, it was just like a few days in Vietnam and then 4 days in
Singapore is like
Singapore.
deep. Okay.
So in Vietnam, did you meet any girls?
I met one woman when I was lining up for the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum, and I didn't exactly know how to what the procedure was, and then I guess there was this woman with her child, and I couldn't speak Vietnamese obviously, so I just was pull out Google Translate, and then had her talk into it, and then
must have been
figuring
tough.
out how to get into the mausoleum and everything.
When I was there, I just paid a tour guide like $20 to show me around for the
Well,
day.
$20 for whole day long?
Yeah.
Apparently, being friendly is free, so.
Yeah, but I had
It was-
someone accompany me everywhere all day and translate and do
And
it.
that
It
was $20.
I didn't have to
Yeah, because it's not even correct, right?
Yeah, it was
I
only
tried
like
it.
$20.
Well,
It was less than 20, actually.
I managed by myself, so
Okay.
I guess.
And you enjoyed it better than Singapore?
Singapore is very commercial. I would say the place that I stayed in, Orchard Street, was very. I would say it's a cross between Las Vegas and New York City Times Square, without any of the debauchery,
Okay.
without any of the vices.
All right, great.
All right, man.
But yeah.
Yeah, thanks for coming. And,
Thanks, Dom.
any ladies watching this now, we are going to film a program where we're going to set Doug up on a blind date.
Wait, it's just me? I thought
it-
there's gonna be
Well,
a bunch of dudes.
there's
going to
be
girls.
there's going to
It's
be
just you.
other dudes, but
Oh, are there?
I mean, but Doug is here now. So if you want to possibly go on a date with Doug and have it documented for the world to see, then please leave a comment or something. Once again, he's 40.
Why would you say that as a selling
And
point?
single.
You should be
Well,
like,
that's
40 is pretty young.
Isn't
still.
that what they always show on the app? Like you see the picture, you see their age.
yes, but like 40 is just like
And
it's just
You
like
consider yourself a New Yorker.
But he lives in LA.
I don't know.
His name's Douglas, 40, lives in LA. Pronouns, he, him, right? They, them, shim. I don't know.
My pronouns are fuck pronouns.
And obviously he's cute. So, yeah. Let's find someone for Doug.
That's why you wore
God.
that T-shirt today.
Can,
huh?
can we not do this ever again?
Okay, fine. We won't do it ever again. All right, guys. Thank you, and we'll be back next time.
Yeah.
And you all have a nice week.
Bye bye.